Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well and I hope that you have an incredible day. I'm here to do an intuitive card reading to see what insights, guidance, and messages the universe would like to share with us at this time, And it involves with reconnecting with ourselves, going deeper into sitting with our inner child, doing inner work, making space for ourselves, our emotions, the things that come up, instead of writing them off as wrong or bad or too needy, whatever. Just showing ourselves more love and watching it shift our reality, because how we run away from our inner child, our emotions, our past, all of that, how we won't sit with ourselves, make space for ourselves, allow ourselves to be seen and heard, it causes all sorts of patterns to show up in our lives, and it'll keep playing out in different scenarios, different areas of our life. And yeah, as soon as we start making space for it, because what you resist persists, everything shifts. But let's take a look at the cards and see what else the universe wants us to know. Okay, yeah. A time for healing, balsamic moon. Yeah, a lot of us, we didn't necessarily have the adults in our lives, whether that be parents, teachers, whoever, that were modeling healthy emotional regulation or healthy relational dynamics, or, having self-worth, self-confidence, self-love, self-compassion, any of that. And so some of us, whether consciously or unconsciously, can latch onto it, and because of how, dynamics with our parents or siblings or family members or teachers, whoever, or certain ways, we start unconsciously having it play out again and again and again in our lives. Like, if, for me personally, I've noticed, I knew that, a lot of my relationships were unhealthy once I started taking stock and inventory of them at the end of last year. But then, as I was starting to unravel it, looking at different layers, it's oh, this is a lot of the same types of things where I'm giving, but other people treat me like a disposable tool. They don't value me. They act like I'm a burden, like I don't have any inherent worth, that I'm causing them issues, that I should just basically be a doll that's quiet and not causing trouble, and I'm there when they want me, and they can play with me, do whatever they want, and then put me back up on the shelf, and then everything's good. It's just that's how my family treated me. And just looking at how, peers treated me, supposed friends, co-workers, bosses, teachers. I mean, my family, obviously, because that's where it started. It's exes, time and time and time again, it's the same kind of thing. It shows up a little bit differently in terms of specific, factors, but the core of it is a lot of that. They'll toss me out and kind of thing. It's okay. So for me, it's just sitting with that. It's okay, so how does that make my inner child feel? And have I actually allowed my inner child to be seen and heard? Have I actually, made space for it? Have I let the inner child know? Have I let her know that it's okay to be sad and frustrated and upset at the injustice, and how, it's not right for, a young child to have to be the parent of everyone, the actual adults and the younger siblings, to have it all depending on you, and to never, have it, to have other people tell you that you can't, rely on them, because you need to be self-sufficient, you need to be independent, you need to be the role model, you need to be perfect, this, that, and the other. And that no matter what you do, even if you're checking off all the boxes that they say, it's still not good enough, because somehow whatever your siblings do, it's somehow you doing it. It's some weird warped things with my family, guys. But at the end of the day, it's just making more space to sit with ourselves, to allow it, to forgive if you need to, for instance, with myself, like, when you're a child, like, it's not your responsibility. You shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to, like, go through all the things with adults who are supposed to, know better and do better. But, like, when you're an adult and you start recognizing you've been playing out the same kind of patterns and cycles, forgive yourself for that. Forgive yourself, because this world, it can be full of trauma and hurt and shadows, but that doesn't mean it's all like that. And so we can choose to heal, like Uncle Ira says, if you look for the light, you can often find it, but if you look for the dark, that's all you'll ever see. We can choose to heal. We can choose to release. We can choose to make space. And I think that's part of the reason why these creative projects involving, like, journaling and, like, add-ons and all that, like, I have a bunch of creative projects with that going on right now and I'm working on. I think that's part of the reason why. It's just so people have an outlet. They have more ways that they can, like, work through the process, make space, allow themselves to be seen and heard, to deal with some of those heavier emotions if they're not ready to go to therapy or whatever. But yeah, it just feels like right now the energies are very strong for healing and making space and acknowledging that we are inherently worthy. We are inherently deserving of love and kindness and respect. That you are enough just as you are, flaws and all. You are the work in progress, but also the masterpiece. And not everyone's been told that, I know I never was. I was never enough. No matter what I did, it's ridiculous. Adjustments are required. Third quarter moon. Yeah, adjustments to how we used to do things. The ego, the wounded inner child, they did the best that they could with what they knew, with what they were given, and, they're just trying to keep us safe. So with these cycles and patterns we often go through, part of that is just because there is a quote-unquote element of safety. Not in the sense that it's necessarily actually safe, because I could tell you some of the things I've been through and it has not been safe emotionally, mentally, psychologically, physically, like all of it. Like, it's been a lot. But safety in the sense of, oh, this is the familiar. I know how to handle this. I'm used to this. Like, I have, like, all this experience, so I kind of know what to expect. But then you go into the unknown, and the ego and that wounded inner child's like, I don't know what to do with this. Get away. And which is why we can find ourselves going through these same cycles and patterns, because we're not bringing awareness. We're not sitting with the inner child the way that, adults never did before. Like, we can be the adult that sits with our inner child now. And it's going to allow us to make these adjustments. It's going to open up all these doors, all these blessings, all these opportunities. It's literally going to shift our reality, but we have to be the ones that choose it. Like, no one's going to come in and do it for us. As nice as that sounds sometimes, like, we need to show up for ourselves, We got to make these adjustments so we can heal and bring in brighter days. Ugh, this card is picking up. Sorry. The energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't know about you, but for past couple years, but this last year especially, things are picking up. Like, time is going faster and faster and faster. And then it's kind of interesting because some of the days feel like they'll go really slow, but, like, the day overall, like, the day in and of itself, some of the, like, hours and minutes, all that can stretch on. But, like, days in terms of, like, passage of time, weeks, months, years, it's picking up. Like, it's like you blink and then it's like, oh my goodness, because, like, it literally feels like we just started the beginning of the year, but it's already the 8th month, And so the energy is gaining momentum. So these shifts, these new opportunities, all of this is building momentum. It's going to come to you. Are you going to be ready for it? Are you open to receive it? Are you working through things so it's going to be a smoother ride? Because It's sort of like how, the imagery coming to mind is like, how some people are very last minute with things. And, there could be this vacation or trip that you've planned like months, maybe even a year or more in advance. It's going to be happening, and that there's all these things you need to do in order to pack and get ready for the trip. Well, how some people are last minute, and so they're putting things off, and so then it like could be the night before and they're scrambling to pack everything, and it's just like, whether you're ready or not, it's coming, and it's coming in hot. And so if we start doing the work, if we start making the adjustments, if we start doing the healing now, it's going to be a lot easier. We can have a little more ease and flow and relaxation, because it's like, no, I got this. I've been making preparation this whole time. I didn't wait till last minute, kind of thing, Yeah. Prosperity lies ahead. New Moon in Taurus. And part of this is like the preparation, like with the imagery of, preparing for a trip. Like the universe is getting ready to have this new chapter for you of prosperity, but it's like, are you going to be ready to let it in? Are you going to be able to handle it? With a lot of us, when it comes in terms of like healing and like the wounded inner child, we don't feel deserving. We don't feel confident. We don't feel, self-assured. We don't feel like we matter. Like there can be imposter syndrome and all that. And so as soon as, we start getting stuff like this, because I have been in, different courses and watching different content and like taking classes and all that. And one of the stories that I just came across with this woman, who I feel like I can relate to on a variety of levels, but she was talking about how, because she hadn't been, sitting with her inner child and coming to the core of like these patterns and cycles she's been going through, she realized that it's because of how she never felt like things were certain. She had to have one foot in, one foot out. Like it'll be good, but then it'll be taken away from her, so she couldn't get used to it. And so it was after she thought about that, she realized that's why when she was having so much success with her, online business, that it all of a sudden just plateaued and then just nosedive, and like she's struggling financially. She's like, why is this? Like I've been doing the same thing all of a sudden, and it's like, oh, it's because of that core, element, that wounding within her child because of what happened to her when she was a child. And so it's like, oh, so even if, like we get handed all this blessing, all this prosperity, are we prepared to handle it? Have we done the work? Have we packed our bags? Are we ready to take off? Because whether we're ready or not, it's coming. And, we could be having, this bumpy ride, or it could be smooth sailing. It all depends on what we're doing right here, right now. And not in a mean way, but people like my family, they haven't been doing the work. I'm not trying to judge. I'm just making observations. And I've been seeing how it's been getting more and more turbulent for them. And I'm not saying that I've got it all together and I have all the answers and I'm perfect and I'm enlightened and all this. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just like, I've noticed with me, I've been doing the work. And so things, they're still turbulent at times. There's still challenges. There's still setbacks, delays, all of that. But I've been able to handle it with more grace and more peace, whereas they like fly off the handles. But the universe wants you to know that you're going to be blessed. Prosperity lies ahead. The energy is building momentum towards this. So let's do the work so we can accept it and embrace it and cherish it and make the most of it, with arms wide open when it comes in. Yeah. Cosmic Pearl. Expand your psychic gifts, open the gate to the angelic realms. This very much feels like the world is your oyster. Like the prosperity is coming. It's all coming together. Like life will be what you make it. What is it that you're going to choose? You have the free will. You are the author of your story. You are the captain of your ship. You're the architect of your life. You get to call the shots. So what is it that you're going to choose? What is it that you're going to bring into life? What is it that you're going to focus on and make the adjustments for? Because part of it is just like, I know so many people will go on about how, they want to be prosperous, they want abundance, they want money, they want the freedom, they want the vacations, they want this and that and the other. But then they'll turn around and say money is the root of all evil. Money is wicked. People who have lots of money, they're greedy and selfish and dirty and awful scum of the earth, and go on and on and on about how people are wasting money. Why are they buying all this stupid garbage, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you're not in alignment with what you actually want. You're cutting yourself off. The world is your oyster, and you are the author of your story. And the story you're writing right now is that you won't have money because you think it's evil. You think people who have money are scum of the earth. Like, you know what I mean? Because my family will do stuff all the time, and I'm like, you say you want these things, but you're putting up a whole lot of blocks. And it could be that, cycles and patterns from the core wounding of the inner child and all that. They're not wanting to look at it. They're not wanting to sit with it. They're not wanting to make space to listen and to see it. Because I know my dad was talking to me, and his parents, I think, were growing up. When was it his parents or his grandparents? I don't know. Like, there was this mentality of lack and saving because of the Great Depression. I don't remember exactly if it was his parents or if it was his grandparents. Either way, like, they were just like this lack mentality, and so they're always saving, always not spending money. And so, like, that got passed on to my parents. My parents didn't come from families with a lot, and so that's what they tell me all the time. I'm not made of money. Money doesn't grow on trees. No, we can't have this. No, we can't do that. And it's like, it's all this lack. And so it's like a lot of these core woundings and all that. And so you can expand. You can grow. You can open the gates. You can open the floodgates and let it all in. But it's your choice. And at the same time, you do have to do the work. Like, you can't say you want to be successful, you want to be abundant and all this, but you're still, like, you're sitting around doing nothing. Or you're playing in the same old habits and cycles. Like, you're going to this 9 to 5, and that could be an avenue to get to abundance, but while you're there, you're constantly complaining and ranting and being negative and being a sourpuss, just going on about how much you hate everything. It's like, you're not connecting with it. You're not writing the abundant story, the successful story, the prosperous, joyous story, So we gotta choose. And yeah, pure intention. What is the intention you're bringing to this? Because I've observed and experienced so many people having these nasty, nasty intentions of just wanting to use people, just want to get a step up in the world by, like, taking things from other people, sabotaging other people, deception, manipulation, gossip, smear campaigns, all of that. And it's just like, the universe is wanting, you need to bring the right intentions to this, because you reap what you sow. It may work out short term that you get, quote unquote, what you want, but if you're putting out nastiness is going to come back to you. If you take from other people, things are going to be taken from you in the end. And so if you come with the pure intention, if you come with the intention of wanting to help people, of wanting to be of service, of wanting to be of peace and love and light and laughter and joy and fun, and hope and healing, that's a pure intention. That is going to get the ball rolling for you. It's going to build momentum. It's going to help you bring in the prosperity, to open up the cosmic angelic gates. It's going to bring clarity, Find clarity, surrender your ego. And it's not that the ego is inherently bad. It helped us, stay afloat until we got to this point, until we had, more awareness and like an awakening, and we started the healing journey, But we gotta have the right intentions, otherwise it can backfire on us horribly. Yeah. Pure intention, be a beacon, be an inspiration, light the way for others. And I know that with a lot of people, they can think of money as bad. They don't want to sell things. They should just be giving away everything for free. But Money is inherently bad. It's a resource. It's an energy exchange. So if you're providing something of value, you're allowed to have something of value returned to you, equivalent exchange, like an alchemy. You can be a beacon, you can light the way, you can inspire other people, and that can be an avenue for abundance and prosperity to come in. It's not inherently bad to have money, to be prosperous, to be abundant, because honestly, that just means you can help more people. You can help yourself, you can make sure you fill up your cup and you take care of yourself so you have everything you need and show up as your best version, but you can also help other people. You can give more. I know with me, like I've always wanted to give. I've always wanted to help. I've always wanted to nurture and to support and uplift. But I realized, like, if I had more financial stability, financial income, financial blessings, like, I would be able to help so many more people. I'd be able to do so many more things. So it's like, keep shining your light and the prosperity will come to you. Don't cut yourself off. Don't self-sabotage. Don't, put up all these blocks. No, we don't need to do that. Right? Dream big. Dream with your heart. Don't get caught up in the traps of the mind, and the fear and the doubt and insecurity, all of that. Fear is just false evidence appearing real. And know that you are worthy just because you are. Because you exist. You are enough just because you are. Because you exist. You don't have to do anything special. You just are. Out of all the people who could have been, all the different combinations of DNA and character traits and all that, you were chosen by the divine, by the universe, by God's source creator, whatever label you'd like to give it. You were so cherished, and like the divine loves you so much that it's like, I'm going to imagine you and bring you to life. So dream big. Dream with your heart. Like, you can have it all. You can. Yeah. Breathe love into your life. Remind yourself to breathe. Because when we center on our breathing, when we get focused, we start to ground, we start to get present, we start to get mindful. We're here in the here and now. We're not caught up in all the what ifs, the negative narratives, all the hurts of the past, all of what could happen in the future. It's like we're here in the present moment. What's coming up now? What needs your attention now? What's happening now? Breathe love into your life. So if all these things are coming up, emotions, past traumas, experiences, whatever are coming up, make space for that. And breathe love into your life. Bring love to the situation. It's like, okay, I see you. I hear you. It's okay. Your emotions are valid, It's okay. Make space for it. Bring in more love. Yeah. Stay the course. You are moving in the right direction. And that's the thing. When we start doing these healing journeys and, following our hearts, dreaming big and taking steps towards them, we can start doubting ourselves. We can see hiccups and hurdles and challenges and setbacks and delays and rejections. We can convince ourselves oh, it's not meant. That happened with the person who wanted me an accountability partner. They just started to be like, oh, it's not meant, and we're trying to throw in the towel, and I'm just like, you can do what you want, but you asked me to be an accountability partner, and you asked for me to call you out when your habits and mindsets and all that are interfering with your goals. Yeah, what energy are you bringing to this? Is it actually helping you do what you said? And then they just blew up on me, and, they didn't stay the course. And it's just yeah, sometimes when you're heading in the right direction, it gets really messy and uncomfortable because you have to go through it. You have to sort through the discomfort. You have to make space for it. You have to feel it, to process it in order to release it. So, even if things aren't coming together yet, stay the course, because the only way for you to truly fail is for you to quit. Is for you to never start at all, So keep showing up. You're heading in the right direction. The universe has your back, and it wants you to know that. Yeah. Trust what you need is there. With love, all can be accomplished. This is why the universe is saying breathe love into your life. It's why it's saying it's a time for healing, that you can be a beacon and an inspiration, to have the pure intention. You're coming from a place of love. You're coming from the heart space. You're tapping into that divine, unconditional love. Not that we're always going to be perfect, because we're still human, but you're trying to connect with that more because so few of us are actually connected to ourselves. It's such a disconnected society we live in right now from other people and from ourselves. We're constantly on the go. We're constantly running around from thing to thing to thing. We're constantly working long hours, multiple jobs, overtime, and then we have, family obligations, and we're going out with friends, and we're doing Netflix and chill, and there's never time because we choose not to make time, but we don't make space for ourselves. We don't sit with ourselves. We don't listen and observe what's coming up. We don't journal. We don't do the healing work. And I'm saying this generally because there are people who do it, but just overall as a society, this is what I've observed time and time again. And the universe saying, bring more love into this because what you need is there. Even if it feels scary, even if, the self-sabotage and the cycles and all of that's coming up, it's going to work out. The universe has your back. It's going to work out, so stay the course. Trust what you need is there because through love, all can be accomplished. You've got this. We have dolphins. Find joy in playful connections and let your intuition guide you to deeper understanding. Yeah, that's the thing. You can bring more joy in. You can bring more fun, more peace, more laughter, more love, more light, more positivity and hope and faith and trust. Because when we're in those states, that energy, that frequency, we're having those deeper connections, that deeper understanding. We're reconnecting with ourselves because we're meant to enjoy life. We're meant to have fun. Not that everything's going to be our cup of tea or in our preference and that everything's going to be peachy keen and we're just going to have a blast. But overall, we're meant to enjoy life. And so that's why the universe is saying, hey, prosperity lies ahead. You can have the abundance. You can have the freedom. You can have the joy. You can have your dream life. That's why it's saying dream big, dream with your heart, and trust what you need is there. Stay the course. Because it's all coming together for you. It's all coming together for you. So start acting like it is already. Because the universe listens. And so if you are living in that energy, that frequency, that intention, that expectation, it's going to happen. The world is your oyster, Coral Castle. Live with intention and purpose, aligning your actions with your deepest values and desires. That's what I was saying. If you are wanting this abundant, prosperous, free dream life, then you got to start aligning with it. You got to start making choices that align with that life. If you're wanting that life, you can't be making choices that someone who's living in poverty would make. Or if you want to have deep, meaningful connections, you can't be living a life of someone who has none, who doesn't trust anyone, who's guarded, who has their walls up, who never wants to speak to another person because all people are evil. You know what I mean? You have to be in alignment. What is it that you truly want? And start aligning with that. Start acting as if and expecting it. Live with intention and purpose. Don't just be blindly going through life because it's not going to line you up with what you actually want. Yeah. Embrace change. Embrace change and welcome new possibilities. That's the thing. We are the caterpillar becoming the butterfly. Excuse me. And so all this change is coming. This is why the universe is saying it's the time for healing. Adjustments are required because you are becoming the butterfly. You are going through the transformation, the metamorphosis, and all this prosperity is coming to you. Your dream life is coming to you. So you have to embrace it. You can't run away from it. You can't be, saying, I can't go through that door. It's too scary. It's not familiar. It's unknown. It's uncertain. It's like, well, yeah, if you're becoming the butterfly, life isn't going to be the same as when you were a caterpillar. You can't be going around as pretend you're a caterpillar and you're a butterfly. No, you're meant to fly. You're meant to soar. You're meant to be the butterfly. You're not a caterpillar anymore. So embrace the change. Welcome the possibilities. Yeah, bring in more peace. Find inner peace in moments of stillness. This is what the universe wants. It wants more stillness. It wants more quiet, more tranquility, more silence, more alone time, quality time with yourself, where you can connect with yourself, make space for yourself, see yourself, journal, pray, meditate, go to therapy, whatever it is you need to do. Start connecting with yourself some more. Find inner peace within, because happiness and peace of mind are inside jobs. So we need more moments of stillness. And so many of us don't do that, whether it's conditioning or it's just discomfort, because when we start, we actually slow down and we stop and we have those moments of stillness, of alone time, of the quiet and the silence. That's when all the uncomfortable thoughts and feelings and past hurts and all that start coming up. And so people are like, I need distractions. I need to numb out. I need all these unhealthy coping mechanisms. And you're saying, it's time to actually sit with yourself and to work through it. Not that you have to do it all at once. You can make it in more bite-sized pieces, but it's time to start doing the work and healing. Yeah, it's time to start nurturing yourself. Nurture others and also yourself. Show yourself more love, more compassion, more kindness. Uplift yourself. Make space for yourself. Allow yourself to be seen and heard, because in this world, it feels like so few people are actually seen and heard. We get written off, ignored. Like, honestly, my family, they ignore me all the time. They'll greet the cat and ignore me. Or if they decide to, interact with me, it's like usually to yell at me or throw stuff at me or like whatever. And it's like, just because other people aren't recognizing your worth doesn't make it true. So if you weren't nurtured by other people, you can be the one that nurtures yourself. You're inherently worthy. You can step up and be that for yourself. You can heal and realize that you deserve nurturing. You deserve kindness. You deserve love. You deserve to be uplifted and supported, to be seen and to be heard. Nurture yourself, because it's going to start opening all these doors for you and shifting your reality more than you can ever know. Right? Like stepping into a new experience, and that could be the healing journey. That could be making space for yourself, allowing your inner child to be seen and heard, to start showing up for yourself, to start nurturing yourself, to start putting yourself first instead of putting yourself on the back burner, to fill up your cup, to shift your mindset and recognize that you're worthy, that you're confident, that you're deserving, that you can have your dream life, And that might mean that you start taking action, even though you don't know all the answers, even though you don't have it perfected. Life is messy. You don't need to be perfect. You literally don't. Just start making choices and taking action right now. Because you can always learn, grow, and improve along the way. But if you're always waiting for the perfect time, odds are you're never going to find it. Because your brain will keep convincing you, oh, now it's not the right time, money's a little tight, or, there's this illness in the family, or my friends are having a tough time, I need to support them through the divorce, or, the job's really busy right now. Like, your mind's going to come up with all these examples, all these excuses, all these justifications. So choose to take a step out now. Choose to go now. Because adjustments are required. But when we make these adjustments, when we do the healing, we're climbing the ladder of success. You are heading to higher and better places. Brighter days are ahead. Prosperity lies ahead. The energy is gaining momentum. So don't worry. Trust what you need is there, because it is. With love, it all can be accomplished. So stay the course. Keep climbing. Keep taking steps forward. Dream big with your heart, because it's going to work out for you. Yeah, box. You will receive a gift. If you expect good things, if you trust that you will receive, that the universe has your back, that prosperity lies ahead, and that you can have the dream, like, you're going to start receiving these gifts. But if you're like me, growing up, you were conditioned and programmed that, you're too needy, you don't deserve things, blah, 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 blah. You start blocking yourself unconsciously from all these blessings and gifts that are trying to come into you. Like, I've literally seen my family be like, no, I won't take that money, because no, I got it. No, you keep that money. But then they'll be complaining about how they don't have enough money. And it's just like, literally gifts and blessings are trying to come in. So let's heal, let's shift, let's make the adjustments so we'll actually receive them. You know? Because prosperity lies ahead. All these gifts and blessings are coming, but we have to be willing to receive. We have to start acknowledging our worth and be like, oh, I actually do deserve money. Oh, I actually do deserve kindness and love and respect and to be, given gifts and to be treated decently, Diamond, you will be receiving or giving a precious gift. And honestly, this feels like a healed version of yourself. Like, it feels like you are the gift. The healing is a gift. And if you do the healing, you're going to show up as a version of you never knew existed, and it's going to change everything. That's going to be such a gift to yourself because, you're more healed. Like, you can come up, putting your best foot forward, but also that's a gift for everyone around you. Because again, you're going to be the beacon, you're going to be the inspiration, you're going to light the way for others, you're going to show them what's possible, and you can be that spark of inspiration and change. You can plant those seeds where they'll start their healing journey too, Or it could just be you giving gifts because you're getting all this prosperity. Like, there's so many different ways this could go. Yeah. Wealth. It really feels like prosperity and abundance is going to rain down on you. The universe is going to shine love and light and prosperity on you, and it's just going to be blessings and gifts and abundance and wealth just raining down on you. You're going to have plenty. You're going to have plenty. The world is your oyster. It's all coming together. Dream big, guys, because you're the star. You're going to shine so bright. You are the beacon. You are the North Star guiding all these people, being an inspiration and lighting the way. You're guaranteed success. So keep on shining. Keep on healing. You don't have to be fully healed and have all the answers and be perfect in order to be an inspiration. That's like what I was hearing from other people. It's just like, in order to be an effective teacher, you just need to be a couple steps ahead. Because you won't be the right teacher for everyone, but for those people who are a few steps behind you, you're going to be exactly what they need. So keep on shining, keep on showing up, keep on making space for yourself, nurturing yourself, uplifting yourself, loving yourself. Because you are inherently worthy. You are enough. I'm sending you all so much love. Please take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.